Hi guys, good morning and welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Mandy and you can find me on the internet as Mandy Von Knits on Instagram and Ravelry. I am a 39-year-old woman. I'm here in southeastern Michigan. I live here with my husband and my 2 kids, and I love to knit and I love to crochet. And I love to share my works in progress and all of the yarning things that I get onto throughout the week with you guys. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, please stick around. I would love to have you. It is a rainy, dreary day here in southeastern Michigan. So let me know down below what it's like in your neck of the woods. We had a beautiful week and then all of a sudden it's the weekend and here comes the rain. So it seems like that's been a reoccurring theme for the last couple of weeks. Although I can't complain. Last weekend was absolutely beautiful. But you guys are not here for the weather report. Let's talk about admin. So, on this podcast, I give away a free digital pattern every episode. So in order to enter, all you have to do is leave a comment down below. It can be about anything that you want. Just make it nice. And the only rules are, if you win, the pattern prize has to be 15 USD or under. And you can only win once a month. Just trying to make it, even for everybody else. Now, once you leave a comment, just come back next week and see if you win. So that's it. I am going to leave a blank spot right here. And if that was you, just reach out to me on either Instagram or Ravelry as Mandy Von Knits. Let me know what pattern price that you want and I will gift it to you. If you use Ravelry, let me know your Ravelry username. And if you don't use Ravelry, let me know that too, so we can figure out a way to get you your pattern. Okay, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about what I am wearing. Because guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm freezing in this. I don't know what possessed me to wear this today. So this is the Solar Tee, and I'm putting up the designer and the pattern information and also what yarn I used for this. Now you guys don't see this one very often, and it's because I am just a cold person. It is like 50 degrees. Well, no. Okay, it's 59 and it feels like it's 51 degrees. That is Fahrenheit. And I am wearing I wouldn't call it no sleeve. There's a teeny tiny bit of sleeve. But, it is what it is. I do love this. The yarn that I made this out of washed up so soft. So absolutely soft. So I remember working with it. And by the way, this is a shirt that I knit the body on my knitting machine. I have a Silfurberg SK280, I believe it is. I always get the numbers transposed, but I'll put that down below too. And I knit the body on the knitting machine because it just wasn't, it was just plain stockinette, right? And then I picked it up, I took it off of the knitting machine and then I worked the lace. We've got some lace detail on the bottom and nope, none over there, but we have some lace right here as well. So I don't want to say converted. I made the pattern a little bit more knitting machine friendly in order to do that. Just probably change some of the decreases some. But I did love making this, and I especially love the yarn that I used. And I really want to grab some more of this, especially for summer garments, because so I know I've talked about my 10-year-old daughter before, but she will go through my sweater cabinet over here and she'll pick things out and just wear them, just throw them on. And this is one of the ones that she really likes wearing. By the way, when she's wearing them, they're drastically oversized on her. I have some pictures of her whenever, it was not last year, I don't think, it was maybe the year before. Our power went out in the middle of winter, and she's got like 3 of my sweaters on, and she's like this. Sweaters are great for when the power goes out in the middle of winter, by the way. So I just wanted to mention that. Anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, the yarn is very soft, and when I knit with it, it was not this soft. Right after I blocked it, I felt it, and I kind of did a double take. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Because it went from not really being very soft to like all of a sudden beautiful. And I guess, don't judge a yarn by the way it feels on first touch. Yes, that's what I want to say. But okay, I have a couple of things to show you this week. I found some patterns I want to share. A couple of hat patterns that I found that look really interesting to me. And I've also been looking at some different constructions of sweaters or shirts, and I even found a shawl that I've started as I've been working on the Vertices Unite, I've kind of been getting more excited about doing different shawls. So I found a really pretty one. But let's start at the beginning. I have 2 items that I want to show you, and I'm going to show you the crochet one first because I did end up finishing this rug. And let's see. Let's show you this. This is what it looks like. And this is just a square, right? It is just a square because I had the same amount of every color, and my personality was not going to let me do a circle and have an uneven number. It just wasn't going to happen. So I ended up making this rectangle, and I'm just going to use this right in front of our sliding glass door. So I I crocheted this with a size 6 hook, and I used 2 strands of ribbon yarn. And it was incredibly hard to work with, and I'm very happy that it's done. I could only do a little bit at a time, and I purposely knit with a much smaller gauge than I needed because I wanted to make sure that it was sturdy enough. And rest assured, it did come out sturdy. I mean, I don't know if there's not much drape. It's very compact. Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm wondering if I should put some of those non-slip things on the back of it. Do you know how people put the non-stick things on like the bottom of slippers and other things like that? I wonder if they have anything you can use for the back of a rug. I feel like that would be a good idea. With how my kids are always running back and forth, it's probably a very good idea. But I'm glad I got it done, and I do like it, and I think that it will make the house a little bit cheery. So that is my first finished object. And like I said, it maybe a week it took. And that was just doing a row, well, not a row or 2, probably like 3 rows a day. My second finished object is a knitted object. And this is my second Cowltopus that I've made. And it is my plan to make 3 of them because I have three of these different kits. And I think that this is probably going to be my favorite. So this is how it came out, and I'm holding it sideways. If you guys are not familiar with what the Cowltopus is, I'm putting up information on the screen about the designer, Laura Nelkin, and a QR code to where you can find the pattern and actually what the pattern looks like worn. So it is a hood and it goes over your head, and then basically this brioche tube right here folds up underneath the hood, and I'm gonna have to put it on again just to show you guys. So, ooh, it's comfy like this. So it goes like this. There we go. Okay, so that is the Cowltopus, and ooh, you can even wear it like a cowl like this. I guess that's where the name comes from. I'm sorry guys, it has been like I don't know what it is about May, but it has not been very kind to me. How has your May been going? I have been, in no particular order, demotivated for everything, frustrated about everything, and just like, I don't know, my doctor has been messing around with like the different medicines that I take, and I feel like some of the side effects are making things really difficult, and I want to message her and be like, you know, undo, Control Z, but I'm trying to stick it out just a little bit longer, and if it gets too bad, I'm definitely going to reach out, because I haven't even been motivated to knit, and that is insane. I have spent a lot of time just like staring at the wall. I think that I have, right, I mentioned last week that I wanted to kind of push off starting college, my master's degree, because I still need to get some studying done for a certification I'm taking. And I agreed that that was like a really good idea and decided to do that, which is fine. But now I don't want to study or do anything. So, okay, let me make sure I can reach this. There we go. I did cast on a new Cowltopus, and it is because I wanted to make 3 of them. Have I mentioned that? I'm pretty sure I have. I don't know if I put 3 on my Make 30 or if I just put it on there once, but it was always my plan because I had 3 of these kits. So this is the last one, and we've got, I'm going to show you it from the top here. So this is what it looks like when you're just starting. Now, I just stopped knitting this before I filmed, and I just ran out of, look, this is color, this is the first CC, this is CC1. Jeez, I'm tongue-tied. And this is how much I have left. So this right here took 1 color. So and this is, let's see, I've got, so Clue 1 has 3 repeats of 16 rows. I think it's 16, somewhere around there. And I am almost through the 2nd repeat of Clue 1. So after Clue 1's done, then I'll work on Clue 2. I should actually show you with the one that's done. So Clue 1, I believe it ends around here. And then Clue 2 takes you through to the brioche. Now, we've got Clue 3 is this ribbed brioche, And then the final clue is this really pretty brioche wave stitch. And I really like that. I think it would be gorgeous in just like a scarf or a cowl. Like just a plain cowl. I really do like it. I love how two-color brioche looks. And then on the other side, very pretty. Now, oh, I guess I can say this about this one. This is the second one I've done, and I did run out of yarn on this one as well. And I generally run out of yarn about like right here. And I just picked up you can almost not tell that it's two different, I'm holding two different yarns double. It's a light, like a mint green and a blue. And I'm holding it double to make the contrasting color because I ran out of that color. So, and that was the same as the other one that I did. I ran out pretty much at the same spot, so. But I'm looking forward to getting through this one and casting on, I don't know. So I have this going. This is DK weight yarn. And let's see. I wonder if I can show you my other colors without crinkling. No, I can't. So I'm going to be quiet so I can mute it, but hang on. So there's this color. And this color. And this color. So those are going to be my my next three contrast colors. And the yarn that I am using is a Cowltopus kit, and this is by Emma's Yarn. And the only color name that I can associate with the color is Nightshade, and that's the purple. So this kit includes colors Nightshade, On the Rocks, Farmer's Market, Fishbowl, and Poolside. I'm assuming that this is probably Poolside because this has the most blue in it. But I don't know. That's just a guess. I'm hoping that I have some of this left over because it's really pretty. I don't know what I do with it, but it's very pretty. You know, I might have enough of these like Cowltopus remnants and then the fingering weight that I held double remnants to kind of make something all together with all of the colors, but we'll have to see what happens. So, like I said, I have the Cowltopus that I'm working on, and I have the Shetland Skies, which I have not worked on at all the last week, and I'm doing that on purpose. It's my goal to hopefully get the Cowltopus done pretty quickly here, so that way I can concentrate on my two fingering weight items. I have Shetland Sky, which is the poncho, and if you haven't seen it, you can check back in previous episodes. And then I have Vertices Unite, which I have been working on a little bit. And I really like this one because it's good for Zoom knitting. It is a fingering weight shawl by Stephen West. And I've got yarn strands everywhere. So this is what I picked up and knit this week. I'm striping it back and forth. So there's the gray block. And here's the new block. And I'm guessing that I'm gonna knit it until I get done with here, but don't take my word for it. I will definitely make sure to check the instructions before I just carry on quite happily there. I like how this is coming out. It's very fun. And I really do like the colors together. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is a Stephen West pattern. This is a completely modular shawl. You knit and then you pick up and knit other sides, and nothing is too difficult here. It's garter stitch, it's all pick up and go knitting. The only downside is that once it gets so big, and it is pretty big, once it gets so big, it's hard to take places. So this is the large size, and as you can see, it kind of gets unwieldy. So if I'm going to need some different take and go knitting, especially as we move more to summer and more to I need portable projects for when we go to like the park or doctor's appointments or wherever basically. But this is definitely not it. But I am actually going to show you some, well, at least one project that I would like, or well, okay, two projects that I think would be good for kind of pick up and go knitting, at least during this year. That doesn't mean that they're summer appropriate. So I'm sorry, I'm going to show you two hats. And this is more for me because I have two little kids who always need hats in the winter. And I mean, everybody always needs hats, right? So I like knitting them throughout the year. So that way, when it's winter time, I'm not like in a rush to get things done. But I want to show you the first pattern, and I thought that this was really cute. This is called the Striped Swirl Beanie, and this is by Lorelei Designs. And I started looking and actually becoming pretty fascinated with things that are knit on the bias. And do you see how that's knit? One of the things that popped out to me on this pattern was the white yarn, and then you've got like the pretty rainbow color throughout the colors. So this pattern is also free, which is very cool. I'm a big fan of free patterns as well. It says this hat was created to easily accommodate alternating two different yarns, ideally a gradient and a matching contrasting solid. It's a great way to show off a pretty and special yarn. The body of this hat is knit flat and allows you to choose a more snug or slouchy fit. It's topped off with a pom-pom that can be made from yarn or faux fur. So it says that the sizes available are one size, but because it's knit flat, it's going to be pretty easy to adjust. This is also knit with worsted weight yarn. So if you guys know of any good gradient worsted weight yarns, let me know down below. I can't really think of any. Most of the gradient yarns that I know are fingering, but that's mainly because I'm always knitting with fingering weight yarn. It's my favorite yarn weight. Although, because this is knit flat, I'm sure with a little bit of thought to the process, it would be pretty easy to modify it to use fingering weight yarn. But if there's a gradient yarn, why? I mean, I think that it would be perfectly fine knitting worsted weight. So, you know, thinking of which, Lion Brand has those mandalas, and I wonder if they have any of those that are in worsted weight. Something to think about, because I've made my daughter a mandala ombre hoodie, and I love that hoodie. It is so cute. The colors are just so happy. In fact, for some reason, I think the colorway was called Happy. I think. I even remember when we got that yarn. So my husband went to the store and he decided to pick me up yarn, and he went to Meijer. And if you guys don't know what Meijer is, it is basically a grocery chain in the upper Midwest, and they sell some home goods, and they used to have more of a craft selection with more of yarn, but they don't appear to now, but this was back then. So he brought me home these 3 cakes of mandala ombre, and I was really excited about it because I thought that they were the cutest colors. I wonder if I can put up a picture of that. If I find a picture of that hoodie, I'll put it up here just because that way you guys have the context, but I love the colors. Anyways, I'm going to show you the next pattern, and this is actually a new one by Joji Locatelli. This is called Silfurberg. I hope that's how you pronounce it, and if not, I apologize. This is knit in fingering weight, and I thought that it was a pretty summer top. So it says it's named after the Icelandic crystal that splits the light into quiet rainbows. It's a breezy raglan tee that plays with delicacy and structure in equal parts. This pullover is knit from the top down in one piece. It has raglan sleeves and subtle neck shaping. The front and back are adorned with a beautiful diamond lace pattern, and the main fabric features textured pearl ridges. So there's 10 sizes available, which I think is pretty fun. Now I keep mentioning this yarn. I have some linen yarn. I actually have it in black and like a hot pink. And I'm wondering if linen would work well with lace, because it seems like all of the patterns that I find for summer have lace in them. And I don't want to use the linen for lace if it's not going to hold the pattern well. So what do you guys think about that? I don't think, the only linen I think I've ever used is linen quill. And that has a variety of other fibers in it. It's not just linen. So this actually I believe it just came out. Yeah, it came out this probably past week. I know it was a May release, but I am a big fan of Joji's patterns. And I know last year I knit the hipster top. So maybe I'll try to do a different summer pattern from her this year. Maybe this one. Let's see, you need between 556 to 1840 yards. So that's not too bad. And like I said, it's fingering weight gauge. So 25 stitches and 40 rows equal 4 inches in stockinette stitch. So this lace pattern, like I read, is a diamond pattern. So I wonder if that would matter with the linen, because it's geometrical. So I feel like it's easy for your eye to be able to look at the pattern and tell what's coming next. So it might not matter as much that the linen kind of hides the pattern. I don't know. You know what I'm going to do later tonight? I'm going to go to Ravelry and check and see what linen looks like when it's knit with lace and see if that kind of gives me a good idea. Okay, now this one is going to be coming very soon. This is a brioche hat, and this is knit in worsted weight yarn, and it's called Clara, and I'm not sure if I've ever shown this one before, but I've definitely thought about knitting it. This sample is knit in Malabrigo Rios, and I'm pretty sure that's actually what I have to make it out of. So it's a worsted weight hat, and it says you need 420 yards, and it's 2-color brioche in the round, which means you work each round with only one color. And this is probably going to be possibly my pick up and take places knitting for a little bit, but I'll have to see. It says it's 20 stitches and 24 rows, is 4 inches in brioche rib. So that's pretty standard. So it says to use a US 4 or 3.5 millimeter. I love these colors. But I think I'm using like a light pink and a dark pink. Those are the two that I picked. I'm sure I have some more worsted weight yarn, so if I do like the pattern, I could make it with something else as well. Okay, so I wanted to share this. This is called the Wheat Stitch Rectangle Bag, and this is another crochet pattern, and I wanted to show it to you because I wanted you to pay specific attention to the shape of this bag. I really like that shape. Now, I've made a bag like this before, but it wasn't constructed like this. This looks like it's constructed all in one piece. It says, the Wheat Stitch Rectangle Bag is the perfect project for adventurous beginners ready to try something beautiful and practical. Featuring the stunning wheat stitch, a textured, eye-catching design, this accessory is worked up simply as a rectangle. That's right, just crochet a rectangle, fold it, sew up 2 seams, and attach a handle. That's pretty cool. It says it comes in 2 sizes, but I mean, it's a rectangle, so you should really be able to customize that to make it whatever size you want. But I really like this shape of a bag, and I've made this shape of a bag before. I've made it before using actually 3 granny squares, I believe, and I really enjoyed making that. And speaking of which, I keep watching Mandy from Mouses Makes podcast, and she'll every once in a while show this mini Battenberg blanket that she's making. It's in crochet, so I think the original Battenberg might be knit. I don't know. I've never really paid much attention to the original one, but I really love hers because she was using corner to corner crochet and a really tiny hook, which is crazy for a blanket. And she actually decided not to work on it anymore because, I mean, can you imagine how long it would take? But every time I see it, I think, I want to take that idea and make 3 squares, and then fold them and make them into a purse like this. So that is kind of what I'm thinking of when I look at this pattern. Okay, this is something that I'm going to make. I'm not sure when, but it's definitely something that I need, and I wanted to share it with you guys in case you know somebody who needs this too. this is called a patio chair or wheelchair caddy. This is a pattern by Thadani, and it's available for free, but it's also purchasable for $4 on Ravelry. It says, keep all the essentials close at hand with this patio chair caddy. It wraps around the arm of a chair with snaps to hold it securely in place. The arm size is adjustable, so it makes a great walker or wheelchair caddy too. So it's basically a caddy that you can attach to handles. And I know this would come in handy in a lot of different places for me. For my wheelchair and the stander that I am extended demoing. I'll talk about that later, but the guy is going to stop by next week to talk about purchasing it. He let us demo an old model that's used, and he offered to let us purchase that one, which makes it from like not affordable at all to like actually affordable. So we're very happy about that, and it's really good news. Okay, sorry guys. If you're new here, I am in a wheelchair. That's what I'm talking about. I am talking about basically a machine that you transfer into, so you're sitting down and you strap yourself in, and it has this lever that you pull like this and it stands you up. I love technology. It's really cool sometimes. Okay, I am going to show you two more patterns. This one is called Surfliner, and this is by Cali Monster. This is the shawl I was talking about, and I just think that that's really pretty. There are so many different color combinations you can make with this. This is made in fingering weight yarn, and it says you need between 1,538 and 1,600 yards. So it says the Pacific Surfliner is a 351-mile train that travels along the Southern California coastline connecting San Diego beaches. The shawl was a collaboration with Miss Babs, designed exclusively for the San Diego Knitters Guild. That's pretty neat. So it says that it's knit in the bias, and this is one of the reasons this came up, and you'll see this theme. These are patterns because I've been specifically looking at working on the bias of things. So it says it has the tag for bias, chart, eyelet, in the round, seamless, stripes color work, textured, worked flat, and written pattern. I don't think I've knit much in the bias, so I was looking at different patterns with that tag to kind of get inspired. And you will definitely see that from the next one. And I believe that this is the last one. But this actually was the one that kind of inspired me the most. This is called the Bias Rainbow Top. And this is published in Art Yarn's Ravelry store. So I believe that means that the people that make art yarns publish this pattern specifically for their mohair ombre 2-ply. And I've never used that yarn before, but take a look at this. This is a top that's knit on the bias. And if you go all the way, oh, I didn't get the last picture, I think, because it shows how it's a square, and it's really, really cool. I really like this idea. It says sizes available are between 44 inches and 56 inches. This is an oversized top with approximately 8 inches of ease, adjustable as needed with more yarn to add extra width or to make it narrower. So your yardage is between 620 and 2400 yards. And it uses fingering weight yarn. And it says 4 stitches and 7 rows is 1 inch in bias pattern. So if you have any gradient yarn that you think would look really cool knit this way, I would check this out. The pattern's $8, so it also says that if you go to the pattern page, and that's where the QR code will take you, it says, it gives a list of yarn stores that sell the mohair ombre 2-ply, and it says that basically this is a list of stores where you can purchase mohair ombre 2-ply and get a coupon code with your new purchase to zero out the pattern cost here. So I thought that was pretty neat. If you buy 2 skeins of their yarn, they'll give you the pattern for free. Very pretty. But I've knit cardigans and tops sideways and up and down, but not on the bias yet. So something I definitely want to do. How about you guys? Have you ever knit anything on the bias? I am very interested to know. And as for, you know, summer being almost here, what's your favorite summer knits? What are you going to be working on this summer? Are you the type of knitter that works one season ahead? So even though it's summer, you're starting to prepare for like next winter? I want to knit like all the things at once. I think that's my problem. So let me know what you guys are working on down below. Other than that, that's everything that I have to share with you this week. I am so happy that you guys decided to stop by. Thank you so much. If you could, please give this video a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye!